All right. Hello, friends. Welcome to Music Nation Speaks with me, Joe, where I use this platform to chat and learn from people who are passionate in what they do and authentic in who they are from all walks of life. Okay. So before we move into our conversation with our next guests, we have two today, two jokers lah, or two jokesters. A bit of housekeeping to do. So, Music Nation is now offering a package of 12 sessions for singing and songwriting. So, sessions can be done either online or in person, and they will be conducted by none other than yours truly. So, the cool thing about these sessions is that you can do them anytime at the comfort of your own home or at the studio with me, and it doesn't have to be weekly. So if you would like to sing or write 3 times a week, that's fine too. Okay, so it's based on our schedules. All right, so DM us on Instagram, Facebook, or send us an email to sign up today and get started on your music journey. Okay, so a very special thing that I want to do today is that we will be doing a giveaway of a copy of the Malaysian Real Book. It's a thick book. It's I also call this the Malaysian Song Bible. All right, it's an amazing initiative and effort put together by the Malaysian Piano Jazz Festival Committee, and it features over 200 Malaysian original compositions from artists such as Sudirman, Sheila Majid, P. Ramlee, Michael Verpen, Teacher Siang, Dasha Logan, John Thomas, Gerard Singh, and so many more that I'm so lucky to be able to call friends, um, I will definitely be using this book to teach and perform with, and I hope that you do too, because it's a proud thing, like we have uh, the real book from US or from the West, and now that we finally have something of our own, I hope that we will proudly wear this and use this and perform with this book, so that Malaysian musicians boleh. Okay, so if you want to win a copy of this or know somebody who might find it useful, comment below, share this video, and tell us your favorite Malaysian artist to stand a chance to win. All right, winners will be selected randomly and contacted through YouTube by this Friday. So share this video, let your friends know, comment as many times as you like, and good luck. And I hope to be able to pass this book to you guys in person. If not, if you are overseas or even in Sabah or Sarawak, I can not deliver, but like Lala move, not even Lala move, but send it over lah. Post laju it over. Okay, so good luck, have fun, and I will, without further ado, let's bring up today's guest. And I'm very excited to, I've been meaning to have this conversation with both of them individually in a while, but the more the merrier, and they are a very good pair. They're soon to be family, and they've been playing together for the longest time. So without further ado, we have the one and only Gideon Yogan and Mr. JC. JC. Jared Cheow in the house.
Wow, insane.
Hello.
That's what they call a round of applause.
Literally.
Hello.
Hello. I heard from Gideon that you guys did a virtual event for like 4 or 5 hours this afternoon already.
Yeah, that's right.
We had to do few takes.
Yeah.
It's a performance or what?
It's like a virtual event lah.
Yeah, it's a pre-recording event. So we pre-recorded everything, and then they will just set it up on virtually lah.
I see. So like any other recordings, if there's a mistake, one more time. One
more time. To the point where some of the mistakes we did, we were like, just let them use.
Hopefully they edit it out lah. If not, means
it's there lah.
They can see the so highness lah, the level.
Started. So okay, I got stamina to do one more hour of virtual, huh?
Can.
No
This is
problem.
more. This is
Chill.
more, verbal.
For the Music Nation.
For
Which is
Music
more
Nation.
dangerous,
Yeah.
actually. I'd rather you guys play than talk.
Hey, we speak. Like how
Us-
music
Eh,
speaks. Yeah, we speak. So
It's too late now, Joe.
I know. I dug myself into this. So let's get right into it, lah, huh? First of all,
Sure.
thank you both of you guys for agreeing to do this, and I feel like this is something that the reason why I do this is so that we actually have a proper platform to really get to talk about why we do this in the first place and what keeps us going and what you do to perfect your craft or hone your craft as we continue in this thing called our music career, right? Because I
Yeah.
think we all I mean we were on the same page when I say like there's no there's no end to this learning,
yeah.
right?
Yep, very
So
true.
True.
yeah. So right, cannot English. Let's get right into it. When and how did you both get into music? Jared, you want to start first?
Yeah, sure. Uh,
And then we tag team
I'm
lah.
afraid to start this life story.
Ah.
Wait, yeah,
You didn't get ready
your
your
question
beer.
was about
wait,
your
yeah,
the question was about us meeting or how we started
or how we
individually.
start individually, yeah.
Individually first.
Individually first.
Okay.
When and how
Okay.
did you get into music?
Right. So it all began. So as usual, when you're a kid, but I think I would say the age that I really started to like the drums was when I was like 10, 11. Yeah. So when I was going to church frequently at that age, I used to try and sit behind the drummer. So because the choir plays in church, right? So yeah, I just thought, wow, it's damn cool, huh? This guy can do so many things, and the sounds that comes out of the drums was just very, very interesting to me. But I like, the
Divine.
guitar. It's like some kind of thing is speaking to me. But I like, like the saxophone. I
Spirit
like,
of Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Hallelujah.
But when I was younger, I must say that the first thing that captured me was, Beatles. They used to have like a short series. It was like a 3-day documentary show. So I used to stand and watch the show. I didn't even sit down. I would literally just stand and watch the show because it's like, wow, these guys are musicians and they're playing and they're getting chased by people, not just by girls, but but by the press and
Right.
like, yeah. But fast forward,
Yeah.
I think I got actively involved in the church choir. So when I was like 15, 16, then it became more active, and then I started taking formal lessons after high school.
Oh, only
Until
after high school.
yeah, but I did it in high school, but I finished my grade 8, so to speak. Yeah, so then when I was like 18, after high school,
Right,
yeah.
right.
And
Okay.
yeah, never looked back since.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty
That
much.
was it lah. Understand. Gideon, what about you?
Okay, almost similar to what Jared have experienced.
Yeah.
Started off in church as well. I remember it was when I was 8 years old lah. Yeah, I would say that I've actually, my music journey started from there. I used to go to church, sit next to, the choir members, with the drums and bass and all that.
You're so cool,
same-
Come to my Catholic church lah. Got drums and
Yeah.
all in church. We got hymns
that one-
only.
That one is
Now lah. Now
yeah,
only
now
hymns.
now yeah.
Anyways,
That one is,
carry on.
different, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So I started off when I was 8. Used to sit around with the church choir, and yeah. Then from then, first instrument that really caught my eye was the drums. So I actually started off playing the drums. And I remember I didn't know how. Honestly, I didn't know how I did it, but I remember I was watching the seniors playing drums. And I was like, oh, cool, huh? Okay lah. Then somehow I was the youngest, I was like, 8 years old, right? So, lah, 8 years old, and then all these abang-abang all like, in their 20s, and for me to sit on the drum throne is something that I would be scared about, because, lah, you touch a bit also like, hey, you, what you young fella doing here, huh?
Right,
Kind of
right.
thing. You're not supposed to be here, kind of thing,
Don't
But
make noise,
don't make noise, you. This is not your chair. Your chair is there.
next to it.
So, next to it. But after what, then I sneaked in. I remember I sneaked in. So they finished playing, right? Then I thought, okay lah, just sit down, take the drumsticks, see how it goes lah. The moment I started playing, I was like, oh, like I just whack and it sounds amazing lah. It's like, wow, like what you hear from what other people are playing is different than what you hear from yourself playing.
Right.
Right. So from there, I was like, wow, really lah. Okay lah. You know what? I'm just gonna learn a little bit lah. Right. So from there, I started playing drums. I started learning here and there, and then guitar slowly. I started learning from church people. I mean, mind you that all music instruments that I learned, that I know how to play right now, I learned all of them from church. So all from the people who I really look up to lah. From church.
Yeah.
So it all started off in church, and it kept me going since then. Then for many years until school, I've just been playing. I only picked up the bass much later. Yeah, I only picked up the bass when I was like 15. So I mean,
In
I
high
picked
school.
up, yes, all in high school. So when I started playing a lot of bass, then I realized, okay lah, I think this is my calling lah. So
I'm sorry, I have to
then
show this one comment. Kuya.
What?
Kuya.
Terrible. Terrible, Kuya.
Goalkeeper.
But don't forget,
But it's okay.
Kuya, a 1-inch punch.
But it's okay. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Jared is definitely a lifetime keeper.
Oh.
Wow. Wow.
And guys, we have started. It has begun. That's why I love digging with you guys. All these things happen,
It's just out of the blue, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
So going back to my experience, So then until high school, so I learned bass much later. Until I finish Form 6. Yeah, I did for Form 6, and then after Form 6, I started taking what is this, formal lessons lah. So I went to college. I went to music college. I went to Aswara. So I did my diploma there for 3 years and graduated. And then I
never looked back.
never looked back. Correct.
I never went back also.
Never went back. So I'm actually grateful with the whole process of learning. It took me a lot of years, but it's worth it lah.
Yeah.
So it's worth it.
Yeah. Do you guys remember a defining moment where, or was it a gradual thing for you guys, or was it there was one point in a pivotal point in your life where you decide, yes, this is something that I'm going to do forever. Like there's no doubt about it. Like, because like for me, I remember like when I was like 13 or 14 years old, this band called Paramore came out, and then I saw this small girl just like jumping around on stage with her bright orange hair, and then the voice like like that. I was like, that's my spirit animal. I want.
Hayley Williams is your spirit animal.
But that impression that you get, like what Jared you were talking about, something about that Beatles documentary that made you stand up and watch as a child, that was so captivating that you could remember until today. Do you was it that point, or were there other points that made you go like, yes, this is going to be the part a part of my life no matter what?
Yeah, there was actually. I've had a few, but to really be vivid about it, I think it was when I was 16. It was in high school at that time. Like I kind of decided, okay, I'm gonna do this for a living. But of course, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
So I don't think many people know, but I'm not formally um, trained.
Great.
Like I didn't go to music college. I didn't go to college actually. So right after
Interesting.
high school, I did a lot of odd jobs and I
Yeah.
was doing music at the same time. So
Mm. Like gigging at the
it,
same time lah.
not really lah. But if you don't mind me just going deeper into it, I'll dive deeper just for a bit.
Yeah.
I think we all know Greg Ramanado.
Mm.
So he and his
Yeah.
brothers, we sort of, because there were many people in and out of the band, then I was sort of like the final member, and that those guys really helped me kick off, you know, as a
Yeah.
drummer to really set the discipline. Okay, you got to practice, you got to make sure you do these things, and then of course, at during that period of time was um, I used to watch Louis, Pragasm, you know, you have Arthur and John. These two guys, to be very fair, they influenced me the most. Out of every drummer in the world, these two fellas, to me lah, I think I've watched almost every video that you can find on Facebook or YouTube. I've gone into this rabbit hole of just analyzing what they've done, going to attend their uh, gigs, their concerts, their workshops, you name it lah. You know, I think
Yeah.
because I'm able to see them live, not to mention my cousins also lah. I mean Daniel,
Oh yeah.
Dado, and all that.
Yeah.
That's a different story lah. But to actually see them play and not just analyze, but to like focus. Oh, okay, so he's doing it this way. You know, and I've had that moments in my life where okay, I think I can do this for a living. If I really put my heart and soul into it, I can do it. So it's happened throughout me doing my odd jobs. But at that one point, because I used to work at Hits.fm.
Oh really?
Yeah,
As
Cruiser.
what?
yeah. So
It's Cruiser.
this is like another lifetime ago lah. I was a Hits.fm cruiser.
What's a
I was,
cruiser?
those guys that used to go around giving free gifts. They go to colleges. They go
They
to.
use their
So I was
trucks
one
and
of
all
those
that. They'll go
guys.
around. Yeah.
I
So I
see.
was doing that for almost 5 years. At the same time, doing gigs, teaching. So it's like you're doing multiple things lah. Well, I was doing multiple things because I didn't go to college. So for me, it's like this is my
Full
college
time.
lah. Yeah, my
Yes.
college was Waikiki, Nero Fico, no black tie,
Backyard.
backyard. Yeah. So
I love.
we can spend the whole night talking about all these things. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's pretty
Yeah.
much the gist of what my
Of the defining
bits and
moment.
pieces. Yeah, bits and pieces of
Right.
my yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, I miss Narrow Fico. Without Narrow Fico, I wouldn't have like my one of the defining moments was also there when I watched John Thomas,
Fang Mob.
Elvira, Fang Mob, and Fly. I was 18 years old. I didn't know what the
Yeah.
hell jazz was, what fusion even was. I was just like, did I make the
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, it's about you two today.
Yeah.
So Gideon, what about you? What was the
Yeah.
No,
you know
too.
the height?
You too.
Yeah, you too. Actually, you also can share your experience. It's actually three of us lah.
We all
Yeah,
can.
we all lah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Because
what
we
about you,
are,
Gideon?
yeah. Well, okay, talking about Neurofico, defining moment. I had that defining moment as well when the first time I actually went to Neurofico after Form 5. Actually no, after my national service. Yes, I remember national
You
service.
went to
national
NS, you
service.
poor thing.
Yeah. I went to NS. No, but I actually enjoyed it. It was fun. Yeah. So
Tak kena rasuk. Oh, got lah kena rasuk
tak.
by the hantu
orang
of
lain
music.
ada lah.
He is the one that rascal people.
I the one rascal people.
He went there looking like a different person when he came back.
Correct.
Oh, gee.
Really?
I
True
came out as
story.
I came out as a different Yogan already.
Do we want to know how different?
No, 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 no.
He went to national service as capital letters. When he came back, all small letters.
All small letters.
All the clothes all baggy and
Yeah,
bald like
correct.
Oh,
that.
small letters.
Cause when I went in, I was a bob lah.
Oh,
I was,
oh,
I was a bob lah.
okay. And then after
So
that,
yeah,
okay,
came out okay lah. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
sorry,
God
sidetrack.
yeah. Thank God I came out sane lah.
Oh, yeah. One Piece.
One piece. So
Yeah.
anyway, so deciding factor was Fico, after national
Yeah.
service, I was 18 years old. No, 19 years old. I went there. I remember my friend called me and said, "Hey, you want to go Fico? You want to check these guys out?" I mean, I knew them, because I used to, when YouTube came out and all that, then check. Then I'm like, wow, siapa ni? John Thomas. Who's this Fly? What kind of name is that? Fly,
Yeah.
Bassman. Okay,
So fly.
go and check them out. Yeah, go and check them out. And of course, people were talking about them, these guys are, amazing lah. You should go and see them and all that. So, okay. So I told my friend, okay, come, let's go. So we went to Fico. I went there, I remember, same thing, John, Fly, One Gigi,
Yep.
TK.
Tokun.
Yes, basically the whole funk mob lah. The whole funk mob lah. And the time Elvira wasn't there. So it was just mainly instrumental.
Right.
Wow, I went there, right? I sat down. The moment they started, I was like, these guys, which planet are they from,
Yeah. What have I been doing?
Yeah, what have I been doing lah? 19 years old. I should have known about this, when I was 16,
Right.
just sneak out from the house and,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But I'm
Yeah.
really glad that it happened, even though, almost reaching the 20s, in my 20s, I'm glad that it happened at that time, because it's never too late. It's never
Yeah.
too late to actually
Better
know.
late than never.
Yes, better late than never, So, wow. Then I actually took the opportunity and, talked to them. I was talking to Fly a lot because, bassist to another bassist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was talking to him and, then and he was very nice, he was talking to me and he asked me, so what are your plans, since you are into music, are you going to study music? Are you going to, pursue music as your career and all that? And I say, yeah, I'm actually planning to go into a music college,
Yeah.
and then he was like, oh, okay, that's good. I think you should try apply this college. I was like, Aswara. Okay, Aswara.
Oh, so Fly was the one who recommended you to Aswara.
He was the one who actually recommended me to go to Aswara.
Wow.
Yeah, he told me even though Aswara, you have a lot of things you have to learn. Sometimes you don't even have time to do your own practices and have band practices and all that, recitals and blah 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 whatnot.
Yeah.
But he said still go for this, because number one, it's a cheaper option.
Yeah.
And number two, you get to learn a lot of things because
Yeah.
Aswara, it's a cultural thing where you can actually learn other cultures, other traditional elements, and you also have the Western element. And because at that time I didn't know what was it. I only know Western. It's all Western.
Right. Same,
First,
yeah.
first bass player to check out on YouTube, Victor Wooten. And then Tetsuo Sakurai from Cassiopeia. Then all those Marcus Miller.
Yeah.
You don't find, it didn't occur in my mind that
that we have
that
talent
we
here
have
too.
here. Yeah, exactly. Not even like talent here who plays modern, also on the traditional side. So wow, then I started listening to other stuff, like Fly was doing some, like some Malay traditional stuff and everything. I was like, actually, okay. Then I told him, okay, I will try. And then I applied. Since then I got in Aswara. Then I started, learning. I took it as a a career lah for me. Yeah.
Right.
But of course, at that time when I was actually decided to study music, you know, there are a lot of things happen. There are other obstacles that happen, you know, in between, which, you know, I did shush them away lah, you know, that kind of thing. You know, just go in 1 year and come on the
And
other
God.
year lah, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so you know, a lot of people came up to me and said, asked me like, so what are you doing now? Oh, I'm studying music. Music? What
Can ah?
what do you study music? Like what?
Yeah.
Everyone can learn music, what?
Yeah,
Why you
yeah.
have to go music? Yeah, I'm studying music.
College.
Yeah, college. Someone's like, wow,
Yeah.
you got music college, ah? I
Yeah.
say, yeah, got. You know, so you come out, you become a musician. Well, not only that, you know, you also do other things as well. You can be in educational side, you know, you can do other things, you know, and
You
yeah.
can be a
And
writer.
exactly, it can be anything, composer, you can be
Yeah.
producing stuff, it can
Studio.
be, yes, correct, studio, it can be anything, you know. It's
Yeah.
a very wide
Wide.
scope
Yeah.
in
Yes.
music. You can do anything in music, right?
Yes.
And then they were like, oh, okay, good. But how? Can cari makan ah? That is always the number one question, you know.
Yeah.
It always brings down to whether you can earn a living.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know, it's always like
Yeah.
that. They will
Yeah.
ask you, oh, what are you doing? Oh, okay, or if it's not to their par or you know
Yeah.
level of
Audit.
earning, they know. So how
Yeah.
can you earn a living when you're doing if you're doing music? You know, a lot of things were playing in my mind, but at the same time, I've already decided lah. You know, okay,
Decided.
this is what I have to do lah. You know, I cannot go back. You know,
Yeah.
because that is what I
Then
was
I
I
will
was
prove
doing
them
when I.
wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I told them, and I actually told them, I said, yeah, actually, you can earn a living. It can be, I mean, it may be slow now,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, the result will get you there,
Yes.
and you will get yourself there.
Yeah. From
Yeah,
your own hard
yeah,
work, lah. Jared, what
exactly,
do you want to say?
exactly.
So if I knew, if
Senyum,
I knew,
senyum, eh?
if I knew then
Hmm.
what I know now, I would have told
Yeah.
Yeah.
them, yeah, can cari makan. You play function. You ever heard of nasi goreng musician or not?
Ah,
Mi goreng musician also there. Very, very nice.
correct.
Very
Very
free
nice.
some
Mom.
more.
Is
Can cari
even
makan. Mesti kena cari
correct.
makan.
Correct. Even better if they got fried egg.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
Ah,
That's a bonus.
That's the bonus.
count your
That's a
blessings.
bonus. Yes, count your blessings
Can.
one by one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
until now, unfortunately, like after school, for so long already, working, I've still had relatives coming to tell. So I mean, I understand where you're coming from as well. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
speaking of, like this is an interesting thing, and I want to dive a little bit, just a little bit on it before we go on to the heart of the topic today, which is the heart of the rhythm
Mm.
section, because I
Yeah.
feel like that is what makes or breaks a band, to be very honest.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
Right, and we don't emphasize the importance of it. I didn't know how important it was until actually I started gigging. So not
Mm.
in school, like we were talking about this just now, Jared. I
Hmm.
was talking to Gideon. Like,
Mm.
what have we learned and had to um, fall and pick ourselves back up and learn from our mistakes, in in the industry versus what we did or didn't learn in school, and
Yeah.
or in uni. And I, like, we were talking about that also, like, we don't really blame the teachers because they had a set of syllabus to cover.
Yeah.
Their job is not to
Mm.
teach us. um you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying, lah.
Yeah. I
So
totally
Yeah,
agree.
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
so I didn't know that, Jared, you were never quote unquote,
Hmm.
formally trained. But I don't
Hmm.
see that
Mm.
as, anyways, I'll let
Yeah. Yeah.
people decide, and
Yeah,
I'll let you
yeah.
tell your own story. So here we have,
Mm.
Gideon, you went to music college, and Jared, you did it, and you
Yeah.
guys are actually playing together and have been playing for more than 10 years. How many years now?
No lah. Almost 10
Wow.
lah.
Almost
Oh,
10 lah. Yeah.
almost 10.
Almost 10. Mm.
Wow.
I think I think next year will be 10 lah. I think so lah.
10-year anniversary show, yeah.
2013 ah.
I think yeah, 13. Yalah, 13 lah.
13, 14 lah.
Yeah, 13, 14 lah.
Mm.
So yeah, almost 10 years lah.
Almost 10 years, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are some of the similarities that you guys, had to go through together, or when you guys each faced an issue with the band or the sound, or for example, something as simple as maybe like reading charts, or
Mm.
things like that, we were forced to do that in school. So Jared, what about you? Did you have to go learn it by yourself and things like that? So yeah, a little bit about that
Yeah, I can I
journey.
can I can dive quite deep into it actually,
Mm.
because I've sort of opted to choose the harder path. Like if I had gone to music college, then I would have learned it formally. I would have had to do the ear training,
Mm.
your you know, and all the nitty gritty stuff lah. But I
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew people in ICOM, so I'll shoot some names.
Mm.
Anthony Yap, Big A Productions.
Uh-huh.
He
Mm.
was a facilitator in uh, the youth teen kind of thing that we had in
Mm.
church. So I was quite close to him, and he was studying back then in ICOM.
Yep.
So he's I think not exactly his batch, but the people that I used to see there was like Whelan, Wagner Daniel, uh, I believe
So
Ken
Whelan
Chong
was your batch
also.
lah.
No, no, not my batch. Anthony's batch.
Sorry.
Uh,
Yeah.
um,
Okay.
and we always talked about music, and I can actually tell you, he he's quite into metal. So he's the heavy rock guy. He
Anthony, yep.
Roseanne all same batch, Not say
Oh.
same batch lah, but like I used to see Roseanne there. Um, I can't remember a few, but I know that they are the seniors lah,
Mm-mm.
right? So I remember sitting down one day with Anthony, and he told me, "You like Dream Theater, right? Go and check out Liquid Tension." So Liquid Tension is this experiment band with various members of the band and then another bassist.
Ah,
So I kept listening to the song over and over again. It's like fusion, but kind of like progressive rock
prog
ish,
rock.
and it's a
Mm.
mixture lah. So it just hit me like a light bulb one day. Like, oh, now I understand what is going on with how this compares to like pop music. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like pop music is very structured. So anyway, I sidetracked for a bit. I also have friends from UCSI.
Mm.
I also have friends from Aswara.
Mm.
So I've had my chance to like, hey, how do you do this? How do you read this chart? I can read drum notes, drum
Right.
notation, but if you give
Mm.
me like a lead chart,
Yeah.
I would really have to thank my UCSI friends. People like Ganesh Bala, um,
Oh.
Emmanuel Chin. I'm very close to him.
Mm.
You got people like Juan, Eric Lee,
Ah.
Justin. Justin is they're all lecturers there. What TK
Yeah,
is
yeah.
also there. Ejing is
Mm.
there.
Justin's my boss. No.
Gigi. I
Yeah.
cannot tell you the amount of times we've sat down at the mama, just us talking about music. Like how do you do this? So
Mm.
it's very very humbling to see that whatever they know,
Mm.
they're going to share with you, and there is
Mm.
no age gap or a limit. So it's like, okay, you look at this lah,
Yep.
you can see how the pattern is, the rhythm. You just need
Right.
the lead chart. You don't worry about the horns and all that, the hits. For you drummer, you need to see the hits. So I absorb it like a dry sponge. That's how I
Mm.
think I should. If I want to
Mm.
work as a musician, I should know what. And
Yes.
furthermore, as someone who's not formally trained or educated, I think
Mm.
it's a quality that you should have. Like, you should be
Right.
humble enough to know, hey,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
music
Yeah.
director says this.
Mm.
Can you deliver or not? If you
Yeah.
can't deliver and you want to do all your, then you have to make your own gig lah. You become the
Yeah.
music director. It's
Correct.
as simple as that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Mm.
that's my take on it.
Oh. Okay. And we'll move on to Gideon first, and then I'll draw
Yeah.
the similarities that I
Yeah.
see, and yeah.
Mm. Okay, so yeah, like for me, what I've experienced, Yeah, went to college. I did my formal education there. But before that, like I said earlier, I started learning instruments since I was 8. And
Yeah.
then that lifespan from 8 till I started going to college, I self-taught, right? So I
Oh,
self-taught. I've never been to any like Yamaha
Yamaha.
School of Music lah, to do my grades or whatever. Not, I didn't go to all that.
Yeah.
So it was just play by ear,
Mm,
and also visualize, what people are playing, and then I adapt to
right.
it, and then I
Right.
listen to what they play, and then so it's all playing by ear, self-taught lah,
Right.
And I
Play along
remember
with
this
the CD also lah kan.
play along with the CD lah. Those
Yeah.
days, last
A
time
lot of that, I think.
yeah, last time when
Right.
during my high school, beginning of my high school, we used to have like cassettes,
Mm,
right? So when you play the cassettes, you can actually record
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
On
songs
it.
from
Yeah.
from radio,
Yes.
like radio channels, right? So I used to record, and then then take out the tape,
Yeah.
play again, and then follow. Those kind of things.
Rewind.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
and then rewind, the kind of thing, right? So it's all self-taught. So
Yeah.
that was my self. I teach myself that way.
Mm,
And
mm,
then 15, 16 years old, when YouTube
mm,
came out, when
mm.
it bloomed,
Yeah.
and then there's when I went search for this, for that, and
Right.
it became even more challenging to
Obsessive.
myself. Yes,
Yeah.
obsessive, and also challenging to myself to actually, wow, I didn't know this one. You can do this. I
Right.
remember the first
Right.
video I watched was Victor Wooten's Amazing Grace,
Mm.
when he actually played the harmonics and the bass line at the same time. I was like,
Yeah. Bitch can do that.
my
Ah.
goodness, this guy, who is this fella lah? Who is it? Oh,
How
play.
dare he?
How dare you? What is this sorcery? Kind of thing, yeah. So, yeah, when I heard that, I was like, wow, I didn't know bass can actually do that. Bass, in my understanding at that time, it's always been
Mm.
chords, not even chords. It's just
Bass
bass
line.
line,
One note.
bass root
Yeah.
note, root note.
Hmm.
You play a lot of root notes.
Yeah.
Wow. Then I was like, my goodness. Then when I started watching him on YouTube, it really broadened. It gave me a different perspective of how a bass as an instrument can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when he did the percussive thing, I was like, man, my goodness, you can also do that.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
it really broadened my vocabulary on that particular instrument, where you can actually adapt to it through rhythm
Yeah.
and also harmony.
Oh, harmony. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rhythm
Yeah.
and harmony works. So at that time when I started playing a lot of it, I starting to understand how it actually worked.
Mm.
But it was different because I was actually, when I watched it, I watched the video as a solo performance.
Ah.
What about the band setup?
And yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
which we eventually will talk about it
Get
in like
into.
get into it in a bit, right? So that
Yeah.
was the solo section part. So that was more on the technical side. That was more
Mm.
towards feeding my
Your
my
own
vocabulary,
bossness.
my own
Yeah.
poisness, and like, oh man, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna learn how to do this, man. I'm gonna like
Yes.
make sure I'm gonna learn and get it right.
Yeah.
So that's when
Yeah.
I started playing, like doing a lot of technical stuff. 15, 16 years old, you just want to take the bass, you don't want to sleep.
Yeah. The
You don't want to sleep.
obsessiveness.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't want to sleep because every day is a new thing.
Yes.
Or rather, every week is a new thing. People will be posting
Yeah.
videos, a lot of videos, and then you're like,
And
wow,
it's
what is this?
free.
What is this? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Then you just
Yeah.
type something, it comes out, and like, wow, what is that? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, play.
Yeah.
So, and as a bass player, a lot of
Mm.
slapping involves and thumb and plucking and stuff. So, lah, all
Blisters and there
tah,
lah. No need to
tahap
sleep already lah.
tahap gaban already, play, that kind of thing, until you cannot sleep. Until next thing you know, wow, 6:30 in the morning. So
Yeah, but don't you guys miss those times? Oh, hi!
This one,
hello,
Antu, you gave me a shock.
Antu. That's why. Antu Sabah.
I'm here trying to scratch my eye because so easy suddenly see what
Pop out.
in the dark there
in,
hantu.
in the dark there,
Eh,
man.
intro a bit lah.
You see this guy? You see this guy?
You this guy?
Number one
Number
bullshit guy.
one bullshit guy.
Kena.
Number one bullshit.
Number one.
But I mean, bringing it back and wrapping this up, like of like formally trained or informally trained, I think we
Yeah.
all share the same sentiment of, and this is something that I see even within my own life as well, because for me, I was trained a lot, too much training actually. Yamaha lah, private lessons lah, all the classical grades lah, diplomas, all those things, because my mom wanted to really prepare us, right? And then, but out of all the things that I was officially trained for, I chose something, singing, that I was not trained for at all until I went to college. Like she was like, I paid so much money for your piano and your violin lessons, and you tell me you want to do singing, like I never prepared you for that. But that's how we tend to
Yeah.
be, isn't it? But
Yeah,
and a common theme and thread that I pulled from this is, if you really want it, you would obsess over it, and nothing's going to stop you from finding out, from learning, from pursuing it. And unfortunately, I do see that drive kind of mellowed out in the recent years, because we all teach, right? And we are going to get into this as
Yeah.
well, our experiences of teaching. But yeah, the common theme is, if you really want it, you would find ways, climb
Yeah.
mountains, dig holes, and just
Correct.
go to someone, and just because you want to learn, you're hungry for it, and at the end of the day, we all very kiasu, we just want to be good at it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we just want to be good at it.
Yeah, but the process of getting good at it, we memalukan ourselves a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It
it's
comes with it lah.
it comes with it. It's part of it, lah.
Yes.
You will never escape from it. You will
Yes.
definitely have some glitches here and there, and that is how you learn.
Yes.
Exactly.
That is how you learn. Mistakes or whatever. That's how you learn. Get adapt to it. Yeah.
And then it makes us, if we make a mistake, right? I know this is true for me. I don't know how it is for you guys. Like if I make a mistake, or that gig was terrible, oh, shit. Okay, try again, next one. It makes me very tak puas, and I want to do it again and again and again. Yeah.
I mean, you have to just keep doing the same thing all over again. Like even though if you have you have the same gig, same songs that you do every week, right? Well, there's no
pause.
issue. Yeah,
3
correct.
nights.
3 nights. There's no
Butter.
issue. Yeah, but correct. There's no, how to say, it shouldn't stop us from continuing what we have to do, or rather what we want to do. Let's say like some people were, if they were to play something, right, then suddenly like, oh lama, I made a mistake, I don't think I should do this,
Yes.
I don't want to do this, I just want to be on the safe side.
Yes.
It's okay to be on the safe side, but at the same time, well, who's gonna judge you lah? At the end of the day, it's for your own good, and you also learn from it. So we should be doing the same thing every week until we get it.
Yeah.
Music is such where we have a lot of creativities here and there.
Yeah.
But at a time, we can actually make it, we can actually pace ourselves and just keep doing the same thing for a certain period of time until we get it right, and then we move on to the next one.
It's like every other skill, isn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Any other rhythm or a drum feel, that you've been practicing, okay, I want to do this for this gig. And then suddenly on that day when that gig comes, when you want to do something, right? Alamak.
You kanchong and then you flop. Oh shit.
The stick touch here lah, touch on the rim side lah, the ring, then you cannot really hear the tom lah, and then you want to hit the bell, then suddenly the bell no sound. I mean, it's fine. Honestly, it's fine. Do back again the same thing. It can be on that particular gig, that same gig, if there's another song which requires you to do the same rhythm pattern, why not? Do it.
Yep.
Yeah, even
And
for
your
me as well as a bass player, like when I do like lines or a certain rhythm pattern that I want to do, right? Sometimes I don't get it at this song, like, oh man, like, okay, you know what? Next song comes, I don't want to think about my mistakes, like whatever, like, as long as I get it tight as a bass player, because that is my role as a bass player. I don't worry much about the lines and all that, as long as I lay down the groove with the drummer. That is the most
exactly.
important thing. I will try that on a different song. Whatever that
Mm.
fits in there, if it's the same as what like for example, when I play another song, when we play another song after that, then we're
Yeah.
playing, it's like, hey, actually, the one that I did earlier,
Can
can
fit
try do
here.
it here. I can try
Ah.
do it
Yeah.
here. If it
Yeah.
doesn't work, who cares? It doesn't
Yeah, lor.
matter. I can still play. You know,
Yeah. You
you
get a
know.
side eye from Jared a bit lah, but then the
Ah,
show goes
ah.
on.
He'll be laughing at me lah. as how as how as how as how I will laugh at him. So if he were to miss,
Yes. Yes.
no,
I
but
think
that's the
it's one
thing.
of the greatest things that you can
Yeah,
ever, it's like, because it's your workmate. So
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah,
when
yeah,
you
yeah.
hear him do something that,
Hmm.
if he accomplish it, is that then you get that nod of approval or that stank
Yeah,
face, like,
man. Yeah. You
Mm.
just want to turn around like,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
yeah, Yeah.
What is this?
this one
Come
we'll,
here.
we'll explain to you.
Yeah, we'll explain to you.
If you know
Okay.
Albert, Albert, this is from Albert.
No. The question is, do I
Yeah.
want to know?
Ah.
Maybe, maybe.
Yeah, but then you guys went into it already, like the 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 relationship and the chemistry and how you guys have
Mm.
each other's backs when
Mm.
you're attempting to do things that you've worked on individually and now you want to
Yeah,
play
yeah.
together,
Yeah.
right? So this
Correct.
is where you guys
Correct.
touched on already. And how important
Mm.
is it to support each other and to help each other cover also, because like if one person sounds bad, the whole band sounds bad, right? So kind of
Mm.
have to like complement each other and
Mm.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
before we get deeper into that, how has playing together initially versus now, and what have you guys learned together? Some of the give me like maybe like 3 to 5 points,
Mm.
that have really solidified you guys as bassist and drummer over the years.
Hmm.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Sorry to just bring it
Like,
on to you.
Suddenly
I
quiet
think,
already. Suddenly.
I think, I think it starts from when he and I met for the
Yeah, the first
first
time we
time.
met lah. Yes,
Yeah,
Ah,
which
correct.
is quite odd,
Correct.
our story also,
Yeah.
because
So,
he's my junior in
mm,
school, but we never met in school. Because when
yeah,
he was Form 1, I left school.
from five. Yeah.
oh,
So
So
we didn't knew each other then until the day we actually met. When I was studying lah in Aswara, and we were actually helping out a few of the UCSI students for their
like
recitals. And
reciter.
yeah,
yes, correct.
but different
So
people lah. He
yeah,
was
but
playing
different
with
people
different
lah.
people. I was playing with someone else.
Yeah, so he was playing
Right.
for someone else and I was playing for someone else lah, right?
Mm.
And then we were playing. I remember I was there. Then after that, I went up. I was walking up in the auditorium. Then I met him. And I was like, oh, hi. Then we spoke lah, Then he came to me. We compliment each other lah, like, oh
Mhm.
man, okay, crazy lah, lah. After that, oh, like,
Yeah,
The jilat a bit
oh,
lah, the initial meeting
oh,
jilat.
bro,
not
bro, bro.
really actually, because prior to meeting him, people
Yeah.
were telling me about, hey, have you met Yogan? Have you heard Gideon?
Ah,
Gideon Yogan lah, his name. I said, no lah, he baby boy also lah. Bukit Bintang lah,
B-boy.
same high school.
Oh, really? Yeah. In UCSI.
A few, like Jack lah, because you played with Jack, right?
Ah.
You played with Jack, so he said,
Oh,
hey, you met
okay.
Gideon ah? Hey, this fellow damn good lah, play bass. Because before Gideon showed up in UCSI, the one bassist that was very active, or the only bassist that was active, was Gabriel Januarius.
Januarius.
It's Catherine's brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he,
Hmm.
if there's always just two bassists or three bassists that
Yeah,
can
yeah,
play for everybody. So they end up
very
playing for
rare.
everybody. It
Everybody.
doesn't matter if you're
Correct.
ICOM, USSI, or Aswara.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
1 million
Yeah.
guitarists,
Correct. Pianist, don't
25
say lah, you know.
pianists, keyboardists,
Yeah.
20 will be classically trained, all
Yes,
doing
yes.
contemporary for the first time. So,
Correct.
like
Correct.
one of
Correct.
those things. Lah. So, yeah, when he
Yeah.
and I met, and then we were both gigging in Publica, different places. So we're
Ah.
just hanging out, saying, hey, we should do something together. Lo and behold, Dean calls all of us to be put
Shout out
together.
to Dean Sim.
Yeah,
Dean
correct.
Sim.
Shout out to Dean Sim who actually put us together. The
Yeah.
He
weird
made the
thing is,
stars align. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, right, when he first called me, uh, he asked me whether I can play for a project and all that. You know, it was TDH project lah. It was Tom, Dick, and Harry's project. Yeah. So at the time I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And all that. I didn't even ask him, you know, who else are
Who is
playing,
in the
who else is
band?
Yeah.
playing, you know, in the band
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
that. So I didn't know who was playing except Dean lah.
Right.
So then after that, I was like, okay, yeah, why not lah, you know, let's do it lah, you know. So okay. And then after that, after a week after, then he called me again and said, hey, we're gonna start this project soon. Are you free to, you know, meet up at this day, this time, and all that for rehearsal, for our first
Right.
rehearsal? I said, okay, yeah, let's do it. And then I remember it was in Uncle Rick's studio. Yeah, Rick Omar's studio. Yeah, yes, yeah. Was in Setapak area near
Genting Klang.
Genting Klang. Yes,
If I'm not
yes,
mistaken.
correct. Yeah, Genting
Yeah.
Klang lah. So I went there. I remember we were at the Mama. I went to the Mama. I saw Dean. Then I saw him. I saw Jared. I was like, didn't we meet last week or something? So, yeah, you know. And then Evie came along. That's where the first time I met Evie. Yeah, and
left
Clinton
trio.
lah, Clinton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Clinton.
and Clinton lah. Clinton was there also, right? So when I saw Jared, I was like, hey, we just met each other in UCSI. What are the odds lah, you know?
Yeah. It's meant to
Then
be.
it's meant, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because in UCSI, we actually exchanged numbers, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually exchanged numbers and we actually told each other lah, like, hey, you know, we should do something lah, you know, we should play together one day and all that, you know, this and that, you know, really, you know, we good, blah blah blah, you know. Then 1 week later,
Jadi.
Yeah.
we were there, you know, as a band. So then we started, you know, practicing and we actually been in this band for like years.
Yeah.
And you know, we've been
8 years.
we've been playing together since then. Like every week, because you know we used to work every week and all that, right? So it was like
Right.
every week, and it got better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the question. What were some of the
Yeah.
kinks that you guys have to work out as bassist and drummer together versus how has the process been, you know, then versus now? What were some of the initial kinks that you guys had to work out together?
Together.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess the number one factor is the chemistry lah. You know,
Like chemistry as in like person to person, or like you guys have to get along as people, or you know, as sound.
No, I don't think.
Or-
I don't think there was ever a problem
yeah,
because you know we are so alike yet different. But I think we're mature in that sense. So personally, I feel there were things that I needed to work on. There were some struggles that I had in my own musical growth. So as a drummer, what a drummer should do, what you should not do. I've had many nights also playing where, you know, like my worst night is I'm like a 2. You know, normal working musician, your worst night you're like a 5 or a 6 lah. You still
Right,
get
right.
through the night. But there were nights where I felt like a 2 or a 3. So it's like, and then I start questioning myself. So what am I doing? Am I playing for my own self? You know, do I want to do, like you were saying earlier, you want to do this feel? Do I want to play this kind of feel the whole song through, all through the night, and mess up the whole flow of what we've practiced just because you're trying to get what you want to do, or rather what I want to do? So you know, there were like inner
Or is it for
demons
the
that,
benefit of the whole band?
exactly.
So musically,
yeah.
I felt not mature yet, but I think
at that
he,
time.
Dean, I mean, the band really helped me to figure out my place as a drummer and what I need to do musically.
Yeah.
Rather than, you try and be experimental, because I must admit, I got complacent. You're playing gigs 3 nights a week. It's the
Nah.
same song. Sometimes you're like,
Mm.
I want to do something different tonight. But then that something different can also influence the rest of the band to like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it can
Yeah.
go very good or it can go very
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, yeah.
If I don't tell the band, hey, guys,
I'm
I'm
gonna try
trying to do
this.
something, and if I don't tell you, I can't expect you to look into my eyes and say, was that good? Was that bad? They're looking at me like, what the hell are you doing?
Uh,
Yeah, it's like you don't want to have those moments on stage. So
Right.
that I think has to be very clear. And I think
mm.
Mm.
um, we've not to say chatted about it, but
Mm.
I think I've learned from my own mistakes. Hey, you cannot do
Mm,
things like that.
mm,
You know, you,
Mm.
you don't see John or Arthur or Steve doing this kind of things.
mm,
This is not some
mm.
kind of fusion setting. You're playing to the music. You got to have some certain
Yes.
discipline. So
Yes.
Right.
I see the discipline that he has. I feed
Mm.
off his energy. And personally, as a musician, I believe it's important to listen,
Yeah.
because sometimes you can get so caught up in your own element.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
drown everyone else, so you don't hear anyone
Mm,
else. So
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
because I see him listening to me grooving and he's adapting to me, if I'm going to be like a chameleon changing colors, he's also not going to be able to set
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
groove.
Yeah.
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 Without the
Yeah.
groove, you ain't shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
man.
I
Preach.
wasn't I wasn't shit for many
N-
moments in life. Yeah.
You got no groove in your
I
pocket.
think all of us experienced that too. I just experienced that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
No. Yeah.
I
I
came back
mean,
home. Ah.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's
Sorry,
similar.
Gideon.
Even
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So even like for Jared's case, same thing happened to me also, because
Mm.
that was the first time I actually like started playing in a band
Yeah.
on a weekly basis.
Yes. The
and
consistency
and
of,
and the consistency of doing it for years,
yeah,
and
and not just a
and
one-off thing
yeah,
for
yeah,
an
well, it's not a
event or
one-off
for a
thing, and
recital.
yeah, it's not like a how to say, like touch and goodbye kind of thing, it's just like,
Yeah.
and okay, I'll see you next time lah, nice to meet
Yeah.
you kind of thing, it's gonna
Yeah.
be there, and you know it, like somehow you knew, or rather I like, like I knew at that time that this is gonna be for a lifetime.
Mm.
And then and from there, the process of learning or getting it, um of course, few times lah, the first few times I also sometimes,
Okay.
sometimes no motive also,
Right.
just simply playing, but there's no like tight grooveness, right?
Mm. Mm.
But after a while, it brings down to listening lah.
Yeah.
So I guess like for me, what is different then and now is like listening on what you are playing
Mm.
with the whole band setup. Like
Right.
it's not
Right.
only me towards Jared and Jared towards me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
also towards
It's a
the whole band.
collective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Right.
very collective thing, it's a very
Right.
collective thing. Like even towards a guitarist or a
Mm.
keyboard player or even a singer.
Yeah.
How can you adapt like what a singer can do? Singer
Right.
is going to sing melody.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to expect myself to actually play what the singer is singing. If
Right.
rather if that's the case, then I don't play bass, that kind of
Mm.
thing. Yeah, I just play melody and all that, but that is not bass.
Yes.
So what is at that time it got me thinking, and like question myself, like, okay, what is your role as a
Yeah.
bass player?
Yeah.
What is your role as a bass player? What is the role of a drummer? What is the role
Mm.
of a singer?
Yeah.
And if we combine together with different sorts of elements from different musicians, different instruments, and coming it together, and it's basically like, last time Jared always give this analogy of a company
Okay.
where you have CEOs. So when you have
Okay.
CEOs in a
CEOs.
company, like like our managers, that
Yeah.
in a company that
The
you have different kind of
hierarchy.
yes, the hierarchy. You have different
Yeah.
kind of managers and all that, and
Yeah.
how can each manager or each CEOs
Yeah.
can actually have a different feel to make a company work.
Yes, yes.
That's
Yeah.
how it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Did I
That's
say
how it is
this?
in the band. Yeah, man. See, you forgot already.
Well, that wise, Jared.
I don't even
Very
remember.
Jared is a very wise man. A very, very wise man.
I think to add on to what he said, right?
Yeah,
I've encountered many times where what I practice
yeah.
it doesn't necessarily mean that it will be
It will,
nice when I do it with the
yes.
band.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
Mm,
mean?
Very
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
so
Yeah. I've experienced the same thing as well.
yeah.
When you do your self practice at home, like, oh, dashad, wow,
Mm.
yes, I
right,
can, I can, it's nice.
Ah,
But when
right.
you
And then
put
you're
it
playing
into
with the track also, right?
when you
Yeah.
play in a track, because when you're self-taught, and then when you want to learn lines or any
Mm-hmm.
patterns, any kind of patterns
Yep.
that you learn with the music, eventually it becomes tight, right? Because
Yes.
you learn it, then you like, oh, your goal is to make it tight with the music,
Mm-hmm.
with the audio track. But when
Yes.
it comes to a band setting,
Yes.
a live band setting is different,
Yeah. Yes.
yeah,
and that happened to me also last time. Like when I first started
Mm.
playing, with Jared, and all that, oh, I play this, suddenly like, it sounds
Something's
different now.
not
Why? Like
right.
something is not right, lah. It doesn't hit that spot. It doesn't align with the tempo that we are playing. Then
Right.
it got I realized at that time, like, oh man, it's different. It's
Right.
very
Right.
different than what you do yourself.
Mm.
And with yourself, your self practice, and also on a band perspective.
Right.
yeah,
Then where does it align though? Like
It's
uh,
at the
uh
end of the day, it comes down to listening, lah. Because
mm.
when you're playing in a band,
Yeah.
even how much you want yourself to be out there, right? But at
Right.
the end of
Right.
the day, it's you have to listen to the band that you're playing with. You have to
yeah,
listen
Mm.
to each and everyone, your bandmates. You have to
Right.
listen to
yeah,
them on what they are doing. You have to be
Mm.
very particular in that. So that's why we always say you have to open your ears. it's not
yeah,
it's not what it's not what you have in your mind, like theory,
Mm.
and like, oh, you can be the master of that lah, but
Yeah.
when it comes to listening,
Yeah.
and also making that band really tight,
Yeah.
yeah,
is different lah. It's a different ball game lah. It's a
yeah,
different ball
And
game. And to be honest, I didn't learn that when I was in college.
in school. Yeah.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
so that's why I actually realized after I left college, that's when I
Mm.
realized, man, playing with people and being consistent with it, and as
Yeah.
throughout the years that you play with that band
Yeah.
or any kind of band, you will learn something, or rather you will learn a lot of things
Yeah.
there than
yeah.
learning something in college. You will
Mm.
While
never
on the
find
job,
you Yes, while on the job, yes. You will never have this on textbook. It's not textbook
Yes.
written.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
it's quite hard to accentuate and teach in textbook as well
yeah,
because
Yes.
my
Yes.
experience was I remember, well, this was when I was younger and dumber also and I was like
Mm.
I was lecturing part-time at Aswara,
Mm.
and one of my classes was ensemble.
Mm.
And back then I didn't have the vocabulary or the words to describe what I want them to do. And one of the reasons that I found out that why they aren't listening to each other is because one, they didn't practice their songs individually, they don't know the songs well enough.
Yes. They don't
So
do
one,
their part.
yeah, they
Mm.
don't they didn't do homework. And
Yeah.
two, like you said, the listening is super important. So there was
Yes.
a particular song, I think we were doing like Shaka Khan, Ain't Nobody. Yeah.
Ooh.
mm,
Yeah, so I mean, we have to get them started somewhere. We then got me
Yeah.
started with Esperanza's Falling my
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
semester,
Yeah.
so I
whoa,
had to give some other people some shit.
But that one you nailed it lah. Nice lah.
give them some black
Anyways,
gold.
That's why Williams are black
no, no, no.
gold, man.
The first one was Precious.
Ooh,
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
precious. It's
So
okay.
yeah,
Second
y-
second time is a charm. So precious
exactly
black gold
from there lah.
from there lah.
Yeah, but I mean, so I didn't know how to tell them, and I had the biggest f- not to say qualms, but a little, I got a little bit frustrated because I couldn't articulate what I wanted them to play.
What you wanted them to play.
Yeah, or how the, because we were just working on the groove, the bassist and the drummer, because it's funk,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
if
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you tak lock, then how the pianist gonna
Yeah
come
lah.
in, how the
Exactly.
singer's gonna
Exactly.
come in, right?
It's like
But I
a
Yeah.
didn't know how
roadblock,
to.
like an obstacle that that
Yeah, yeah.
everyone's not
Exactly.
in sync or not
Exactly.
cohesive lah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
can you guys help out a little bit, like what are some of the key elements that you would listen to each other? So from a drummer standpoint, what do you listen to? What are some of the key things that will help ground you or help set the tone, or how do you set the beat, and what do you expect from your band members? And also for Gideon, likewise, what do you listen to
Yeah.
and how do you adapt? Yeah.
Right. So I would say there has to be a certain standard that you reach, before you actually call yourself. Like, I do not think I will ever be up to par as Arthur and John. So
Mm.
my reason for this is because it's not because I have never had a drum set in my house, so I can't practice as much as they have practiced, but it'll be it'll be crazy if I want to compare myself to them, because
Mm.
the level of professionalism that they have in terms of tone and consistency is, you know, is not something that I can ever achieve. I think I believe I'm above average, so I'm happy where I am. But at the same time, to play constantly, eh, with different musicians, you want to have the people that are of the same par as you. I think
Mm.
that's why people call back the same people, because they know how this guy plays. They know how, this guy is going to sound. They know the character of the person and also what they're capable of. So, like,
Yes.
if I know he's playing bass,
Yeah.
I think half my job is done because I don't have to worry about, somebody who's inexperienced, who cannot hold
Yes.
down the tempo. Then I'm going to be
It makes
struggling
your job
throughout the gig.
twice harder.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's going to
yeah,
be
yeah.
difficult because I'm going to tell her, hey, keep up with the tempo or slow down. Don't push too
Don't
fast.
rush.
You know?
Mm.
And the same thing I expect from him to tell me,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
slow down a bit. Because we play with Jamie. I think that for me is like an exam. Every time I play with Jamie, my first night,
Ensemble
I feel,
exam.
yeah,
Final
I feel
assessment.
I feel like, like I'm very stiff. But by the
Right.
second
Yeah.
Right.
night, I feel like, okay, I know more or less now what to do, so I'm more relaxed.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So sometimes the
Yeah.
pressure is also on myself.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Oh yeah, I feel it. Mm.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I think the cues are because I know him so well.
Mm.
There are certain little things that he does. He doesn't need to tell me. He doesn't need to open his mouth and tell me. Like, I can tell by him playing, because ultimately, when you play and practice so much,
Yeah.
you're able to communicate by
Yeah.
patterns.
By
That,
patterns.
yeah,
Mm.
you're speaking in music, so there's
Yeah.
not a word that he and I need to say to each other. And I think it's
Yeah.
vice versa. Like,
Yeah.
if he can see me, like, give a cue, you
Mm-hmm.
know, by a fill
Yeah.
or by how I'm changing the beat on the bass drum. It
Yeah.
can
Mm.
all, alter so many things. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think he and I have developed that,
Yeah.
and yeah, I
That
think you,
rapport and that chemistry and
yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Basically,
familiarity.
yeah,
yeah,
accommodating each other's pattern.
Right.
You
yeah,
Right.
know, like trying to adapt to it. Like, oh, okay,
yeah.
this is where you're going. Okay,
And
Better
I
on
believe,
stage than off stage.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and
I'll follow
I
you. Don't
really
worry. Don't worry.
believe that when you reach this level, when
Yeah.
you're slightly above average, you're able to comprehend these kind of things.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
You
Yes.
know,
yeah. Very
Yes.
how
true.
many how many times have you gone to rehearsal and the keyboard is telling the bass player, "Hey, 251, no, 153." Like, this is the language that the lingo that you speak in.
Yes.
It's a very common thing to hear. So, but
Yes.
to someone else who probably in the early
What are you
days of
saying?
college, yeah, they're like, 153 is,
Hello,
yeah,
two
you're
five
ordering
one one five
ordering
three.
McDonald's. You want 1 5 and 3, ah? you know
Aduh.
Understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my point of view,
Com-
lah.
Yeah.
So,
Completely
Like,
agree. Yeah, Gideon.
yeah. So like for me, I feed off. I feed off with Jared's energy. So yeah, sometimes we will have moments where, like, oh, suddenly the tempo like a bit too fast and all that.
Mm,
Like, sometimes I my tempo very slow.
right.
But what do we do at that
Yeah,
moment, right? Takkan
right.
we want to like stop halfway.
And start
Come on,
again.
let's
Set the
say,
tempo first.
okay, like you can do that during rehearsal lah kan.
Yeah,
What if that actual gig happen and
yeah,
something things like that happen? It's like,
yeah.
hey, takkan you want to stop? Okay. I think the tempo be too fast. Come, let's start all over
Right.
again. You can't do
Yeah.
that, right? So for me, my take is body language.
Mm,
Like how you can, because you've been having that chemistry with another bandmate for so long, right? Sometimes you don't need to tell, you know, you just play a little bit, or like you just play a little bit, and then you just look at like for me, okay, like for me, what I always do is whenever I play, there are certain part where like, oh, okay, I will look at him, I will look at
yeah,
Jared, I will look at
yeah,
Jared. I don't only listen.
yeah.
There is where visuality comes in.
Mm,
That's where I see how his hands work, how hard,
mm,
how fast. Then from
yeah,
there, and especially his kick, because
yeah.
his kick base has to be,
In sync.
I in
yeah,
sync with my bass playing, because that
Yeah,
is the basic rhythm section,
yeah,
basic chemistry
yeah,
of
yeah.
the
the
drummer and the bass
powers and
player.
The,
drives.
yes,
Yes, is the kick and the bass, right? So
base.
from there, so from there, I will look at that. I will look in that perspective of you, like, oh, okay. Then from there, right, I can actually feel that chemistry. I can actually feel that oomph. Like, oh, okay, you're doing that.
Yeah,
Okay, now next thing is I already have that. Now playing tempo. Sometimes we can go
Mm,
off and all that, right?
yeah,
For me, I feel that if let's say there's a tempo, there's a fixed tempo that we started,
yeah,
we have to hand, or some songs may not have to end there lah, right? But
yeah.
most of the time it has to end on the same. Try to
Around there,
yeah, around there lah.
not too
Around
far
there,
away.
yeah.
yeah,
We can't be, honestly, we can't be so particular about that,
Yes,
because at
yes,
the end
yes,
of the day you want to have fun. Music is all
yes,
about fun. You want to
yes.
throw your steam, everything. You want to
Yeah,
play. To
yeah.
your
And
heart
also
heart
sometimes if it's
contents.
a yeah, if it's a slower song
Yeah.
and the vibe is very up already, we have to pick it
Yeah,
up.
you have to pick it
Maybe like
up, yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So it's, yeah, see, that brings down to listening.
yes,
See,
yeah,
it all involves in listening,
observing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like for me, that's how I feed off the energy from Jared.
Mm,
I will look at
mm,
him, I'll see where he's going. And sometimes you look at me, you smile, or he
yeah.
will just like, just feeling it.
Mm,
That's when I know, okay, that is the groove that you set. I will follow
yes.
you.
Mm,
And
understand.
I'll try to keep it as simple as possible to have that tightness
Right, right.
as a drummer and the bassist playing
Basis.
together, because you need these two to
Right,
lock,
right,
yeah,
and then
right.
you have the other things. It's like analogy of a cake. you know you have the whole foundation and
Yes,
also the whole cake
yes.
as bass and drums, and then you have
Yeah.
those icings on the cake, you have those little
Around.
cherries, you have those
Yes,
little sprinklers around and all that, which makes it
yes. The
flower, like
whole.
colorful and all that. That comes to like guitar and other stuff
And
and all that,
package
right?
it
So that, yeah,
nicely.
package it nicely. So that,
Yes.
I mean, I would see that way lah. I actually heard that from one of Victor's video
Oh,
lah. And I was like, oh,
I
actually,
would
yeah.
actually, the analogy, right? I would
Mm,
actually tweak it a little bit. You guys are the batter. If the batter tastes like shit, no matter how pretty the
correct.
cake looks,
yeah,
right?
Correct.
It
Yeah,
still tastes like
exactly.
shit.
Exactly. Is the better. Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah, the
so
ingredients. Yeah.
yeah. So you have to, like, for me, like, that is my goal. Like, I have to do that, because that is my role as a bass
yeah,
player. What is my duty?
Yes.
yeah,
This is what I have to do. If I were to do something else and all that, like, Jared is just grooving. It's just a simple beat, but it's But then you don't follow the kick, you don't follow the groove, but you play something else. It's not gonna work.
Hancur lah.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. And
Yeah.
not only you, not even the drummer, the whole band is not gonna work.
Yes.
If there is a
So-
singer who is singing, it's not gonna work. Definitely. Because like for me, after a while I realized, okay, the bass and drums, that one really need to complement each other,
Yeah.
and we complement the whole band.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if there's any melodies or whatever, that melody, we have to complement the melody and make that melody even more than what
Come
it really comes out, and of
Yeah.
course we will have certain little things that we can like like, all right, man, it's those anticipation stuff,
Yeah. The
it's
attack.
Unison
fun.
lines.
Yeah, unison
Yeah.
lines,
Or
and
fills.
certain, yes, or feels, or certain melody, like, if there's an articulation on the melody, that we touch on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what me and Jared always does. Like whenever
Yeah.
we play with each other, we will always have that moment where certain articulation, okay, come, let's do it. Kind of thing. But sometimes that's the thing. Sometimes we don't even tell each other through our mouth.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I know where you're
Ready?
going up.
Yeah.
Those kind of things. So
Yeah.
that one, all it comes down to chemistry lah, and like, it took years for us to play. So that's
Yeah.
how I feed off from Jared's energy,
Jared.
so looking at him playing and listening to what he's playing, and
Yeah.
of course his tone and all that. Like if this song is such where he's going to play a simple beat the entire time,
Right.
then I will have to follow him and just just add in a little bit of flavor here and there. That's it. And he also can do that. So it's like,
Yes.
so it's like, ooh, that's why some of the stuff that Jared does also, I was like, ooh,
Oh,
eh,
yeah. Yeah.
eh.
But to add on to
And
what he's saying, there is it. I mean, to anybody new who's listening, this
yeah,
cannot just be applied to our setting. Like, okay, we formed
yes,
this friendship and we've been playing for years, so therefore we can do this. This
Yeah.
happens with me when I play with Daniel. This
Yeah.
happens
yeah,
with me when I play with Don. When I
exactly,
play with,
exactly,
you know, other
yeah,
bassists, and
yeah,
it
And
has to be a collective mindset that you have with other
yeah,
musicians. So it's not just
yeah,
with Yogan that
yeah.
I generate. It
correct,
just so
correct,
happens that we've been playing for years with each
yes,
other. It's just like how
Yeah.
you say Vinny Colaiuta play with Nathan
oh,
East, with
yeah,
Herbie
Yeah.
Hancock, or
how we can fell,
yeah,
yeah,
they
so
play
it's
with
like,
the same people because they feed off that energy. They
yeah,
know musically,
yes,
that
Yeah.
how you're gonna express.
Yeah.
yeah,
While you're gonna express this, I'm going to know that, okay, this is what you're gonna say now. So I'm gonna keep a groove while you, say what you wanna
Do
say.
your thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so
And
yeah,
I would add on to that, right? Sorry, Gideon.
yeah, no worries, no worries,
Uh,
no worries,
I think that also the more people that you play with, the more aware you are, and the better you are at reading body language, listening to different
yes,
kinds of music,
yes,
expose yourself to
yes,
different work ethics and
yep,
different
yeah,
yep,
kinds
yep,
of, you just
yeah,
expose yourself so that,
yeah,
like the first few times may be a bit unfamiliar, but the more that you do it, the more adept at it you
adapt,
will be.
yeah,
yeah,
it it
Yeah.
it will sit in you, and you'll become a habit,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
and which
What,
is a good habit.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
what is
yeah,
needed, and also importantly, what is not needed.
what is not needed,
Yeah.
yes,
Because
correct,
sometimes, we all want to
you
put
just,
as much as
yeah,
icing as you want on the cake.
yes, yes,
Right.
Sometimes too much icing
too
also
much also
will
cannot, yeah,
spoil.
so that's why
Jelak.
it yeah, it brings down to give and take lah, you just gotta give and take. Okay,
Yeah.
you have your moment, okay, let the person
Yeah.
do,
Yes.
let the person do, so
Yeah.
you have to give and take, and
Yeah.
that is one of the criterias, or rather the basic stuff that we must have
Yeah,
Yes.
in playing music lah, or in
Yeah.
the band setup, or even anything lah. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
you
And I
know,
mean, a jam set. Sorry.
yeah. Speaking of a jam, I got
Mm.
scolded by Giddy once because playing at Nero Fico at a jam, I was not playing groove lah. So while the saxophone solo is going on, I'm trying to add, trying to be very creative. So
Yeah.
Gigi looked at me, Hey,
Dengar.
so
Oh,
Yeah.
that gave me a cue, and I learned that until today. I still
Mm.
remember that. Like for me,
right.
that defined the moment where listen,
Yeah.
don't
Yep.
just
Yep.
Mm,
play
Don't just
for what.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you must play in the present, but
yeah,
what is not needed is
Yep.
not
right.
needed. But
What is
play
your
what is
role, lah?
needed.
Mm.
Yeah, play
Yeah,
what is needed. Don't play what is not
Yeah.
yes,
needed. So
right.
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
thank
mean, it
Didi
will.
for that.
Yeah. It will be messy, if
Yeah.
someone were to play, especially when someone else is soloing,
Mm.
Mm,
right? And then you want to do, you want to do a lot of things. You want
Everything.
to everything. You
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
add everything
Get
like
carried
your,
away.
yeah. You want to add your
yeah,
chili lah, your ketchup lah, your garlic lah. You want to add everything inside. It's not gonna work, because you are not
Highlighting that
you're not
certain flavor.
highlighting, and also you are not complimenting. You are
Oh
yeah,
not
yeah,
uplifting that one.
yeah,
It's that person's time to shine. You
yeah.
have to give. You,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
what and we as a bass player and also drummer, we have
Yeah,
to like look at our role.
yeah.
yeah.
Must support
What
lah.
do we what Yes, exactly, that's the word. We have
Must
to
support.
support one another. We
Yes, yes.
we have to. You cannot do the thing. Or then sometimes you play, then the flirt, the person is soloing, like, okay,
Also
Mm,
lah, add on to it.
you know then it beats the purpose.
Yes.
You're not gonna let the person down. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah,
if it's time for them to shine, let them do.
Let them do it.
It's better that
Right.
way than to just do a lot of things. It doesn't work lah. Yeah. So that's why
Exactly.
it brings down same thing. Listening.
Yes.
Everyone will tell that. Hey, listen, listen. Hey, listen.
Listen.
What the person is doing. The
Mm.
person doing this, you
And
want to do the same thing. The kind of thing. Yeah. So
yeah.
each and every one of us have a different role, and
Yeah.
that is the one that will make the whole band tighter. Yeah.
you going to say, Joe?
Mm.
Yeah. You were going to say something?
Oh, so just this is just my mental note, right? Like to wrap it all
Yeah.
up, what are some of the key points, the key takeaways, right, for becoming a better musician individually and also
Mm.
becoming a better band member? I think number one, um, you have to do your homework, not just
Yeah,
Definitely.
l- not learn the song when you're at the rehearsal. Learn the song
Yep.
at home. Then you come and
yeah,
you are
Yes. You have
gelling
to
the sound
prepare
together.
yourself before
yeah,
going into rehearsal.
Yes. So that's
Yeah.
number one, right? Doing homework. Number
Mm.
two, like you guys said, being aware, putting yourself, awareness, reading body language, looking
Mm.
at each other when you're playing. And that kind of awareness can only be achieved if you do your homework and you know what you're doing.
Yep,
yeah,
yep, yep,
If you're too
yep,
kanchang,
yep.
like
yeah,
Mm.
missing, like if you're too worried about nailing this
Yeah,
fill, or
yeah,
trying to do this what's it called, lick, then you're
mm.
not listening anymore. You don't have the
Exactly.
space and the capacity to do it,
Yes.
right? So that's
Yeah,
number two, being aware, reading body languages, and number three, of course, is listening, lor,
yeah lah.
yeah.
Mm.
right?
Also,
But yeah,
yeah. Sorry. Continue.
no, no, go for it. That's it.
Oh, okay.
3 points.
Yeah. Okay. So 3 points. Yeah. So also, like,
Yeah,
like going down to listening lah, right?
yeah,
It's like, for example, like, like when you're talking about preparing ourselves,
yeah,
before going in for rehearsal, and learning songs and all that.
yeah.
The question is, like, what are we preparing? Like, are we
Mm.
preparing, like, am I preparing myself to learn my bass part only,
Or
or preparing myself to learn the whole song?
mm,
So meaning, right, you don't have to, you shouldn't just learn. I mean, yeah, of course, number one, you should learn what your
your
part
part.
is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But at the same time, you should also listen to what the other things
Yeah,
Are
in a
going on.
song.
yeah,
Yes, going on in a song, because if you do that, you're not gonna know the song completely. If you don't listen to other things, you don't listen what the drummer is doing, you don't listen to what the guitar player is doing.
Yeah.
Different people have different harmony there. If you don't
Yes.
listen to the harmony, if you don't listen to
yeah,
whatever patterns that is going on, and also the melody, you
yeah,
don't know the song well.
Yes.
You will only know your bass line,
Your
and
part.
that's it.
Yes.
So you will have situations where, when it comes to, like, when you're like suddenly last minute, this person wants to jam the song lah. Oh yeah, okay. Then you play. But then you only know your part as a
Yeah.
bass player to play from the start till the end.
Mm.
There's no
You know,
room.
there's no room. So what if suddenly like, okay, you let this person solo, then it's like everything is not in the actual mix of that particular song that you learn. So
Yeah.
how are you gonna do that? You know? So
Yeah. The
that's why
structure is gone.
the structure is gone. You know, then you'll be
Yeah.
like, this is not like the baseline that I
The-
learned. So it's like,
Yeah.
so it brings down to listening to other things. And there is where, when you listen, especially the melody will bring you to the whole structure of the song. So even though, if let's say the person doesn't sing the melody or the person doesn't play the melody, right? And it goes
Yeah.
into the next one, then you know, okay, this is where it's going to. So you're not necessarily only, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You
But you
should also
also have
listen to
to.
other things in
Yeah.
order
Yeah.
for you to be aware what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. To be more
Yeah.
Like,
well all rounded.
Yeah. Like
yeah.
sometimes like it happens like for me lah, like my experience until today also. Sometimes like, you, where is this going? First thing I will listen is the melody.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, yeah, here. It's here. It's here. So sometimes
Then you
sometimes
anchor it back.
we will have we will have situations like that. Like myself and Jared is like,
Yeah.
Where are
then
we?
listen, then we look at each other, then we pause, our face just pause, but we play lah. Then we listen to the next.
Mm.
Is that's the next line lah. That's the B section lah. That's the C
And,
section.
mm,
So in that sense, we are more aware, and
mm,
that's why when you're able to do that, you'll be very familiar in all the songs that you learn, and it will
Yeah.
be a very easy thing for you to do. You just have
Yeah.
to keep
yeah.
listening, not towards your
Yes.
instrument alone, but to
Yeah.
listen the whole song as a whole thing. You have to listen to every single thing that you can, whatever that you listen in that song.
You can
Yeah.
retain.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I
Right.
can
Yeah.
I can add on to what he's saying from a
Yeah.
drummer's perspective. How
Mm-hmm.
I've learned is slightly unorthodox.
Mm.
Like, for example, if I used to play to Earth, Wind and Fire, I just put the
Uh-huh.
CD and I play the whole album.
Yeah.
So at night I can't do that because I live in an apartment. So
Right.
what I used to do is I used to listen on a Walkman at night. Now I
Ah.
will play.
Mm.
Let's just say we take In the Stone, right?
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
Stone, I will listen to the song over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
my method was, okay, now I'm going to listen to just the hi hat. So the whole
Mm.
song is played. I only listen to what the hi hat is doing. So I take mental notes. This is like while I'm falling asleep, before I fall
Ah.
asleep. The second time I listen to just the snare. So
Mm.
I can emulate in my while I'm lying down and thinking, okay, so the snare is doing here. Oh, so he's doing this here. It's on the upbeat. It's not on a
Yeah.
downbeat.
Yeah.
Silly.
Yeah.
So tomorrow I have a mental note. It's on the upbeat. It's
Right.
not on a downbeat.
Right.
So I do that now
Mhm.
with all the other instruments. So like
Instruments.
if you give me Black Gold,
Yes.
if I listen to Black Gold, I have to listen to it over and over and over again. If I
Yeah.
transcribe the hits and
Yeah.
whatnot in all the sections, I'll
Yeah.
have to write, okay, so A section, I'll have horn section maybe here. Horn section rhythm is pa 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 pa. So I write that down. That is a cue. So
Yes.
as a drummer,
Yes.
I'm taking a
Yes.
cue. It doesn't necessarily
Ah.
Correct.
mean from the bass.
Yeah.
It can be
Yeah.
from the
It
melody.
can
It
be
can
from
be
the
from the
melody.
harmony. But
Right.
Yeah.
musically thinking,
Right.
Yes.
that is, I think, the biggest thing that sets apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I think Arthur and John all explained this to me many years ago.
Yeah.
They say
Right.
just
Right.
listen to the melody, and I
Yes.
think every musician also
Mm.
session
Right.
musician tells you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Right. And we
Exactly.
don't. I mean, we listen to it. We receive it, but we don't. We won't know until we actually do it and try, lor.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Without
Exactly.
trial
Too.
and error, there
Yeah.
is no
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then
there's
what works for you, what doesn't work for you will
yeah,
never
Exactly. To
know.
to to
yeah,
which its own, you whatever,
Yeah.
when you listen to a song or what, okay, this one can actually cue me.
Yeah.
This
yeah,
particular part will cue me on what to do. I'm comfortable with this.
Yes.
You're comfortable with it, go ahead. Then when you
Yes.
play, if that thing happen, okay, that is my cue
Right,
to the next
right.
section. So
Yeah.
not necessarily, melody and to which his own, whoever
Yeah.
that is comfortable, if you have that certain spark on that song that is
Yes.
Yeah.
meant to be in that song.
Yeah.
And when you listen to it, while you're playing, it's,
Yeah.
okay, I know
Ah,
what is next. That
That's
kind of
the
thing.
beauty,
Yeah.
lah. The beauty
Yeah,
of
that's the
music.
beauty of music, lah. It can be anything, whatever that you can listen to, whatever that you experience, it really it speaks to you, lah.
yes.
Somehow
Yes.
you have to adapt to it and it will naturally come out.
Yeah. And the beauty
Yeah.
of it is there's no right or wrong way to do it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just,
yeah, exactly.
you just
Yeah,
gotta do it.
exactly. You just gotta do it,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So I think I will let you guys back to your families.
Yeah.
Because we've been talking about this.
Yeah.
I told you guys, right,
Yeah.
I set it to an hour minimum, and now it's 10:40 already.
One and a
you know
half.
Ah, I mean,
Yeah,
if
but
yeah.
you wanna,
it's
we
yeah.
can carry on if you want to. I'm not be
Mhm.
I
sleeping
think
already, so
baby sleeping already.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, so um there's a lot of, I really love talking about this with you guys because
Yeah.
yeah,
all of these things, if I don't ask, I will never know. And
yeah,
and the point of this
Mm.
is I wish that more people would ask, so that we all know and we all learn together. And
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
uh
Yeah.
uh
yeah,
and I see you guys as what other musicians did for you guys, now you're doing it for
yeah,
the
Mm.
upcoming musicians as well. So it's a cycle.
Yeah.
It's a gift that you guys are gifts that keeps
Mm.
giving back. You
Mm.
receive and then you
Mm.
give back again. So I
Mm.
mean, and I know that we will have more opportunities and more time to
yeah,
talk about more in
Yeah.
depth stuff, because
Yeah.
today is just
Yeah.
more general topics. Like if you want to really go
Yeah.
down to, like,
yeah.
okay, listen to what per se, listen to that take 1 week or so, not
Listen to
enough
this
lah.
Yeah.
genre. Listen to
Yeah,
this genre. It will
yeah,
get you
this genre,
there.
how to
That
listen.
one is yes.
Let's do a
That's a
part
deep.
two, lah.
Yeah.
Oh
I
no,
think we should do a part two.
better
Yeah.
yet, if you guys are interested to know how they do it, contact them for lessons.
Ah.
No,
Right?
but
Or just
to
go to
be
their gigs.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
truthfully
Well.
speaking, I really enjoy doing this also.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
I
Correct.
must say I've been watching a lot of your other um,
Mm.
shows.
Podcast.
Like
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah.
informative.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you get to sort of like pick the brain of the musician. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not just picking the brain also, it's more of like we can all resonate with each other because we are all doing
Mm.
the same thing. And
The
in this
same thing.
country, we are
Mm.
all, I mean, history doesn't go back that far for us,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
like
What,
my
60 years
fam
ago?
my family was very influential in the early days of RTM, you know, and
Yeah.
I feel I'm very blessed and privileged to be a part of them, you know.
Mm.
So, and then you have um, Louis Bragasm, the other
Mm.
giants that
Mm.
Mm.
formed the music. And if you look at
Industry.
it, every decade has
Yeah.
changed.
Change.
The
Yeah.
Yeah.
music has evolved
Evolving.
The
so
evolving. The
fast.
different
In our last
generation have
100 years,
different. Yeah.
in our last 100 years, every
Yeah.
decade has,
Yes. Has
evolved.
changed. Mm.
So,
Yes.
how far back do you want to go? I mean, unless you're
Yeah.
doing classical, then you go back further than you go back to the 1800s lah. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
you have everything you need to learn in the 100 years,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can't. I think in your whole lifetime you can't cover them all. Also,
You can't cover them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It never
And the
stop. Yeah.
right, and it will
It
keep
never stop.
evolving.
You will keep. Yeah.
Papa
Yeah.
Joe Jones said there is nothing new under the sun.
Mm.
Mm.
So that really hit me one day. Yeah, actually, yeah. It
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sends
Yeah.
shivers. Yeah, actually, yeah,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
nothing new under the sun. We've been here for so
Right.
long, but
Yes, yes.
There's
It's
always something
it's a
new. Mm.
yeah,
cycle, and it keeps
yeah,
Yeah.
evolving and changing and coming back and going
yeah.
and coming back again. Yeah. So
Yeah.
to
I,
wrap this all up, sorry, yes, Jared.
no, no,
One
no,
last
no,
thing.
no, no.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you. So to wrap this all up, we're gonna do two things. We're gonna do one rapid fire, so one or two word answers only.
Okay.
And
Okay.
is there anything that I would that I should have asked but I didn't, and you would like to talk about?
Okay. Well, I mean,
Well, tune in for more. Watch this space. Music Nation speaks.
yes.
I'm hoping
If
for
I
more
rajin enough.
parts.
Yeah. Please follow
And I'm very
Jocelyn,
very
and
I'm more than
also
happy to do
yeah,
this because I
yeah,
think
yeah,
it's
yeah,
very informative. It's not just for us, like for me personally, to watch
Right.
Steve speak about certain things,
Oh, yeah,
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 to
yeah,
watch
yeah,
Sam,
yeah.
John. Of course, I'm biased towards the drummers, lah, but you know, I'm I'm very very grateful for this. So thank you, Joe, for
yeah,
this.
No
yeah.
worries.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you for doing
Thank
this.
you for doing this. Yeah,
My pleasure. And honestly, it's for selfish reasons because I want to learn lah. And what better way to
Yeah,
connect with friends than through
yeah.
this,
So
you
do
know?
I.
exactly. Then to do this,
Yeah,
yeah, same. Yeah, it's
yeah.
always
Okay.
it.
Mm.
Yeah,
It always,
yeah.
sorry,
No, it's
lag a bit.
always good. Yeah, sorry. It's always good to like learn from different perspective. Yeah,
Yeah.
we are doing music, the same thing, but different people, different musicians have their
Different
own
inputs.
different input, different capability,
Yeah, yeah.
different. Yeah, it's like
Different
I
starting
can
point also.
exactly
Yeah,
different
yeah.
starting point. Everyone has their own journey, and it's
Who
Yes.
always good. Huh?
who knew Gideon was so talkative? Huh?
Yeah.
We cannot stop. Uncle
See?
Gideon is here already.
New
Uncle,
talent. New
the
talent. You never know until you
the
try.
the uncle coming out already. Yeah, 31 years old soon lah. So I think yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, but
but it's
I like, yeah, I
yeah.
like to listen to, people's insight, and it's very informative lah. And I don't hesitate to, share.
share.
It's
Exactly. And
I like sharing what I've experienced, how I brought up myself and all that lah. So yeah. And it's always been a learning
yeah.
process. Mm,
And it gives me so much joy
yeah.
to see you all talk
Ooh.
about things you guys are
Mm.
passionate
Yeah,
about.
best lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing to do, rapid fire. Okay.
Okay.
Uh
Rapid
Number
fire.
one,
Let's go.
top three favorite artists of all time. Gideon, go.
Top three. Oh,
Malaysia only.
Top
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
any.
that's not
top
fair.
that top three Malaysian. Yeah lah. I got a lot lah.
No, top three favorite
Okay.
artists. The first one that comes up to your mind, or the first five, first three lah.
First three lah. Okay.
Shoot.
Victor. Okay, Victor Wooten.
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
Jared, go. One.
Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Amen. No, lah. Yeah. Okay, if you're talking about like musician wise, I think Carter Buford has changed my life. Mike Portnoy has changed my life.
Oh,
Don't talk about the local musicians, all of them changed my life.
Yeah.
yes.
But recently, like Vinny Colaiuta, Matt Gartzka, so
He's
all
speaking
all these people
English.
that they play things that I cannot play. I like to listen to it because I cannot play. So it's like, yeah, I need to constantly listen to these buggers. It's
Yeah
like
lah, and
trying
torture
to
ourselves also.
like,
Yeah.
how I go to sleep. How does he do that?
How?
Yep. Betul. Gideon, go. Two more.
Okay.
Favorite artists.
Okay. All right. I will go for local heroes lah. Andy Peterson and Daniel
Oh.
Soliano Guezo.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. They really mame.
You guys go back to the comment later and see lah. The first one, the first
first-
comment. Okay.
Where are the
Okay.
comments?
On
Yeah, where are
YouTube.
the comments? Oh, on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, ah?
Yeah. It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I thought it was
Yeah.
just live on stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It's on YouTube.
Jesus, I hope I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Offend anybody.
Yeah, correct.
No. Okay, number two. Current favorite song.
Current favorite song.
Bad.
Current favorite song.
Current favorite song. Oh no, Oh no! Oh no! 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 No!
Oh, I recently been singing the song. Somebody got get here, dancing with the ship.
What is this?
TikTok songs.
Stupid TikTok song lah. Well,
What have you guys
okay.
done?
I think
Okay, wait, seriously.
for,
How many songs?
For,
How many songs?
how many songs? Huh?
Current favorite song. One song.
Oh,
Current.
one lah.
One.
One.
Current.
Current.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes. Eliza, Gideon's favorite is morning into dancing.
Actually, yeah. I mean that's
That
always
one?
been one of my favorite lah. But
Oh.
current, I
Current,
would
current.
say, banyak lah,
Sorry.
a lot lah.
Current.
Cannot choose, you know why? Because we all go by genre.
Correct.
So
Ah.
if you say like jazz, okay, then we got one, of your top favorites.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say like pop.
Current. Current pop song lah.
Current pop song.
Huh?
Just as hard, isn't it?
Very hard lah. That's why you all,
Okay.
you all sure now become musician.
Yeah, you spot for choice.
Yeah, spoil for choice, Sure.
Then current genre that you guys are enjoying right now.
Ooh,
I listen to animals as leaders, so there's no singing. So it's like heavy stuff. It's like
Heavy
jam
stuff
music.
lah. Heavy fusion
Ah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm-
That's good.
I've recently, like, I have like a phase. So if I dive into the animals, it's because Matt Gatzka is the drummer. So his influence has been very heavy on me of late.
Right.
So like
Right.
Perry Ferry, Pliny, John, all these guys, all
John.
things I cannot
like
play.
John.
I cannot play. So it's like it keeps me like, when are you going to start sitting down and practice all the things, Jared?
Intrigued.
Huh?
Yeah. Intrigue.
Don't waste your time. Just sit down and practice lah. Then you can play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then,
So
Yeah,
true.
then if you talk about like drummers, then I like Steve Lyman. He's recently a jazz guy lah. So like got some weird stuff that he shows. Not music in general, but he plays to like electronica. So like
Oh.
jazz concepts, but to electronica, and then it's in odd timing. So it's like, how do you play all these things? So, things that keep you up at night. Are you sure you guys want to do music? Keeps you up at night, no? What the hell? So, think
It's
Cannot
all
sleep,
worth it.
but if you
Sometimes
can, you go for it.
Yeah.
It's not for the week. Gideon, what about you? Current favorite genre?
Okay lah. Current favorite genre. I mean, it's always I'm always into funk and fusion stuff, like really fusion stuff. But I would go for Indian classical fusion. So Akasha,
Oh.
like stuff like Akasha. Yeah.
So guys, this is
Yeah.
your invitation to check out Akasha. Okay.
Yes. So
Okay.
Akasha is a local band. Yeah. So it's an Indian classical fusion local band.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have Jamie Wilson in it, you have Kumar Katigesu,
Yeah.
Eric Lee.
Ah,
Yeah.
oh.
So yeah.
Huh?
Yep. So yeah, guys, check out their stuff.
Yeah. And you have
Very good.
Gideon Yogan in there
Yeah.
also. So
Yeah.
yes. Okay. Name one Malaysian artist that inspired you.
Ooh.
Cannot just have one lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't have just
Yeah.
one.
I have a lot, not only bass players.
Yes.
I have other musicians as well. Well, how
The Waikiki gang.
yeah, YGG gang. But I guess okay, number one local musician that really inspires me a lot is Daniel lah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kuya.
Mame.
Mommy.
Yeah. He inspired me a lot lah.
Oh,
He
okay.
inspires me a lot.
Jared,
Yeah.
what about you?
I'll be biased towards my own family then. But
That's fine.
okay, I have to say my uncle, my grandfather's brother, so he taught me. I've only
Oh,
only only ever had formal
Mm.
lessons from him.
with him.
So and
Mm.
he played with my grandfather back in those days. So
Mm.
yeah, he's much older now. He's retired. I think
Name,
he's
name.
Mm.
80s already. Maximo Soliano.
Oh, Uncle
Ah.
Max, huh?
Oh.
He to me
Oh.
is like Yoda.
Yeah lah.
He not just in stature, but like the way he taught me
Yoda.
was like orthodox and unorthodox also. So
Right.
my
You got the
my late
best.
uncle, my mom's brother, he used to say the way you play your bossa nova and your samba is exactly like Uncle Max. It brings me back to when Uncle Max used to play. So I felt insulted,
But
but but but at that point, because I was so young and I was just starting like a club band with him,
yeah.
I felt also honored because I knew then that if I can emulate my uncle and make you
Mm.
feel that you are playing with him, I'm doing it right, then I must
Yeah,
be doing
yeah.
something right. He is
Yeah.
teaching me to do
Yeah.
something right. So,
Yeah, yeah.
as an educator, that stuck with me until
Yeah.
today.
Mm.
I
Mm.
would like any of
Oh.
my students, if they can one day emulate, if they
Yeah.
bother to emulate, lah. For the journey.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Okay.
didn't get into the teaching part. Ah, it's okay.
Let's get
Okay.
into it,
Part
lah.
Next
two.
next round.
Part two.
Next
Next
round.
one.
Okay.
Next round.
Next round. Okay, last sorry, two more. What does in in one sentence, what does music mean to you?
Wow.
We get all the
Music means
feelings
everything to
feelings
me.
out first.
In one sentence.
In one sentence.
Hmm. It's going to be a long sentence then.
That's why.
With a lot of commas.
Okay, I'll try and
Okay.
fill up this sentence. So, music can hurt, music can speak, music can lift, and music can heal. I know there's many sentences because like all full stop, full stop, full stop, full stop. But
Or commas only lah, commas.
Poem, bro.
yeah, I'm trying
Yeah,
to
yeah.
think of it like in that way because
Mm.
it cannot just be for one.
One.
Unless you say music is emotion lah, because your
Yeah.
emotion it covers everything.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it is, in essence, music is emotion. You're sad, you're angry, you're happy,
Correct.
you're
Correct.
confused.
Mm.
So
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
I think
Gideon?
for me, music heals lah, in all aspects. Yeah, music heals in all aspects. Not towards musicians, but non-musicians as well.
Yeah.
Like those listeners, when you listen to, so when you're sad or when you're angry or what, you will listen to a certain song or a certain
Yep, yep.
genre. So and it heals you.
Yeah, yeah.
You listen to it, you find peace. You find some sort of feeling that you have, towards any kind of songs that you listen to, any kind of music you listen to. Some people may listen to classical.
even how a note bends
Yeah,
also might just
yeah, correct. Yeah, suddenly you listening, you're like, wow,
yeah.
this kind of stuff lah. So it heals lah, and yeah, not towards musicians, but also to non-musicians lah, to music,
Yeah.
to music listeners.
Yes. To music
Yeah.
listeners.
Mm.
All right. Last one. An artist you would recommend to people listening today? I mean, we've name dropped a lot already, like Victor Wooten, Mike.
Okay.
No,
My Portnoy.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
But right
This
now,
this can be
who is
anyone, right?
essential? Yeah,
This
anyone.
can be anyone, local or international, right?
Anyone.
Okay. I will say local, homegrown, Aubrey Suito.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
who?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Serious.
yeah.
Everyone out there should listen to Aubrey Suito.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah. Agreed,
agree.
agreed.
Maestro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Really,
yeah,
his
yeah,
wow, his like creativity and his imagination is like whoa,
yeah,
amazing, amazing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Abusuito. Okay.
Aubrey Suito.
Yeah. I can't believe we missed it. He,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gary
yes,
Gideon,
Gary Gideon.
Mm.
Norman,
Oh, these
Norman.
are actually pioneers. Like wow,
Yeah.
man, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Oh,
Mm.
you see, and our our own homegrown Malaysian musicians, and they're on the same level as international artists,
Yeah, exactly,
Oh,
exactly.
right?
Wow,
that's,
the
a,
achievements
that's
that
another
they
podcast,
that
lah.
yeah, that's
Yes,
another podcast lah.
Really,
that
it's
Oh.
another
one
podcast.
we mamak session first.
Yes, that
Yeah.
When
one we
I
mama
was
session
already
first.
then.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, so
yeah.
sorry, just to sidetrack a bit, that Nero
Yeah, yeah,
Fico, when I first heard Funk Mob,
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, wow, there's musicians playing like that kind of music here, huh?
Here, exactly.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
because I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
a lot. I don't mean to make this like a stigma, but a lot of times the young ones really don't understand when they say there was no internet. Yeah, internet existed when Nero Fico and all that was there, yeah, but prior
Correct.
to that, it was
Mm.
VCDs,
Yeah,
Yes,
DVDs, or tapes that you go and rent from the store. That's the only
right,
way
yes.
you learn,
right.
Yeah,
or you go and take lessons. Now with
yeah,
YouTube, it's accessible. So, I
Yes.
mean,
yes.
I only had a computer when I was like 12, 13. When that
Yeah.
was like
Yeah, yeah.
DMNet, you still got to dial up. There's no such thing as YouTube. YouTube only arrived when after high school.
Yeah,
Yep,
So,
correct.
you learn the hard way, so
yeah.
to
Mm.
speak,
Mm.
and you know, yeah, you
Mm.
appreciate. I think
Yeah.
the the actual memory of you watching the video, sitting down
Yeah,
with the person
Yeah.
and showing you like this,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
that, like that,
Yeah.
ascending, descending.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
And I think we
yeah.
appreciated it more, a
Mm.
lot more back then because it was not very accessible. Now that it's
Yeah, yeah,
everywhere,
yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes,
Correct,
yeah. But
correct,
that's
correct.
another
Yeah,
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
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 Yeah. All right. So
yeah.
thank you all so much. Thank you to both of you for taking the time out, to
Thank you,
Thank
Joe.
you for having us. Thank
no
you so
worries.
much for having us.
I need to build up my stamina again. Like
Uh,
my cikgu, my auntie brain is like, yeah. But thank you all so much for listening. If you enjoyed this conversation, and if you think that someone would benefit from this, please share this video
mm,
with them. And like I said, Gideon and Jared, they love sharing, and um they're not shy at all. So if you resonate with what they're talking about, please reach out to them. you know
mm,
uh, 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 yeah, they're just very, very nice and wonderful people. And I hope that who um, y'all that are listening today, I hope that whatever that you took away is good and fun, and you learn something lah. At least if you don't learn, also you laugh a bit lah. Okay, all right. So
Well,
thank
not
you
just
all.
us, not just us,
yeah,
but
not
Joe too.
exactly. Joe too. Yes, not
Yeah,
just us.
the Music
Yeah,
Nation.
correct.
Hey.
Yeah.
Together.
Yes.
Without you guys, there's no me. Without me, there's no you guys also. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Correct.
So, and please share with your friends about, tell your friends, family, or musician friends about the giveaway as well. It will be open until Friday. So, comment on the YouTube, comment down below
Mm.
your favorite Malaysian artist, and winners will be chosen at random. Okay. So, until Friday. All right. Good night, guys.
Good
Thank you
Good
all
night,
so much.
bro.
night. Good
Good night,
night.
bro.
Bye
Good night. Bye, Silva.
bye.
Right. Have a good night.